What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be doing another map video, an AO map video, because the last one I didn't realize that there was no audio. There was no mic audio, and I was explaining a lot of things, and yeah. So hopefully this one will actually have audio. Today we got a S13 by my buddy Craven. He sent me this, was wondering if I could do a map on it, and I was like, alright. And so let's see what this looks like currently. That way I can compare it. On here, make sure all the panels are, yeah, they're all the same. Click on these three dots, see what kind of map we're working with. Okay, so here is the current map. He did have a additional wing on, the Origin Lab, or it might be a 326 power wing. He added the wing, and it looks like there's some side skirts that are added as well, but pretty much this body kit is like pieced together. So we're gonna map it together in one clean map. What we're gonna do first is we'll go ahead and unpack KN5. Now we're gonna copy these, we're gonna put it in a separate folder on our desktop. We're gonna name it something like that. We're gonna paste it. So the whole point of that is that way we don't have to always navigate to the game folder. We're gonna go and import, go to set of mods, current, and there's that card that we saved separately. Scale factor 1, doesn't matter what units. So here we got the car. Car's pretty well made, looks like. Looks really good. Okay, so first order of business is we're gonna go ahead and take off wireframe. We're gonna also what I like to do is let's just go ahead and isolate the body and everything that we want to map. That and let's do that. Might as well. So we'll map this to the front. Okay. Spoiler, he wanted the wing in there as well. Okay. Very nice. Oh, don't forget the mirrors. Okay, we're gonna hit isolate. Go. Now let's take a look at, oh, this is one of those bumpers that has like the full on indents and stuff. Kit. Alright. So one thing I like to do is I like to see, alright, so they didn't get rid of the stock side skirt, which is fine. What will end up happening is we will have to make sure that that inner side skirt is also selected. First step, we're gonna go ahead and hit modifiers. We're gonna select all here. Modifiers select, poly select. We're gonna hit the element selector, and we will select just the sides. Let's see how this breaks apart. So when it's already mapped, at least mapped like well, then it should have a clean cut right here. But if it's not, then you'll probably have to go in the polygon level and choose individual maps or individual polygons like that. The element tool is nice to select big areas, but sometimes you do miss some polygons, so you want to make sure you go over and select them manually. Let's see how this bumper is selected. Nice. This one seems to be a nice, like a really well made, like all around car, so take a look. I do like to go in clay. That way you can kind of see things better. Um, and if it's all like grouped together like here, for example, I just wait till when I map the back. I don't have to mess with separating it. Okay, so that looks to be all nice. That's gonna be kind of an issue. I mean, I guess that would be fine. People wanted to like paint. like a stripe, but might be kind of a pain in the butt when you're trying to paint something on the A-pillar. If we can, oh yeah, yeah, okay. So when it's nice like this, nice and separated, what we're gonna do is we're gonna save the A-pillar, or sorry, yeah, A-pillar and I guess this is C-pillar? We're gonna save those for after for the top. We will do, we can do here though. I think we should do it clean. Cut. Yeah, so right there. You want to make it as easy for yourself when you go to paint it as possible. So if you do it like that, then you don't have to worry about the side, and then for the top view, you can do the side like that. Now let's see how this one is. You want to make sure you do these, the little corners like that, right? Then also make sure you check underbody. Like this one seems to be stray cat. Thought I saw another one over here. Oh, that top there. Okay, so then we do that on the same on the other side. Oh, I didn't select my mirror. Oh boy, that would have been bad. Okay. A lot of times when you forget something, you can go back and reselect the part that you missed, and then come back in, and then go to the same element modifier, and then that should like still keep your selection, so you don't have to reselect everything most of the time. Okay. And we're gonna do the same thing for here. And make sure you're in this little, when the box is outside the dotted line. That way you don't have to completely cover the polygon to deselect it. Oh, okay. Kind of make sure both are equal. I have it set here, I think. Okay, and make sure you select everything else. Sides. Sometimes it will like deselect everything. You just Control Z and then that'll reapply the selection. If you have any loose polygons like these, that will give you issues later on when you have to organize your map. So try to get every single polygon as possible. Yeah, these are tough when it's like inside. In the future, when you have like parts that you want to put on top, like just like this kit, for example, I would try to delete the original side skirt, and that way you can one reduce polys, but also another would be to reduce the amount of things you have to select when you go to map. Okay, now that we have both sides selected, we're going to go to modifiers, UV coordinates, UVW map. We're going to hit real world map size. We're going to put on x-axis. Okay, go to back to modifiers, UV coordinates, unwrap UVW, open UV editor, zoom out. Okay, we're going to click, so we're going to position this first quadrant here. Click out of it, and then we're going to select the driver's side, or this side of the car. I don't know if this is a JDM version or if they even have like the American left-hand drive versions, but alright, so what we're doing here is we want to make sure we select all the polygons. If not, you'll see, oh, okay. When you do it right, you should not have any strings attached between the two. We're going to drag it out along the axis here, then we're going to go hit flip. Okay, click out of it. Go to modifiers, select, and then poly select. Now we're going to select top. Make sure you do your, we're going to do that part later. Okay, oh yeah. So on these vents, especially these DMAX style, gotta make sure we get those like inside of the vents or else that will show up on your map as well. Wing, spoiler. Go ahead and just put these all together. Okay. Do you have to make sure we do the sides or the pillars? You want to try to remember where you split it. Sometimes it will show, if you go to default shading, sometimes it will show you where you cut it, but in this case, it doesn't, so that's fine. Try to remember. I do not remember if we did this one. I think the rule of thumb, when in doubt, just select it. If not, and if it's like in a very visually obvious spot, I would just, or if you don't select it, then it'll show. Like it'll have like a weird black spot, or that polygon would be outlined. I select this little number. There we go. Okay. Now we did the top. We're gonna go hit modifiers again, and then UV coordinates, UVW map, real world map size, and then this time we're gonna do it to Z axis, and then unwrap UVW. Those axes pretty much indicate where it's projecting it from, so the plane is like facing upwards, so you'll see it from up top like this. X axis you'll see it from this way. The Y you'd see it front to back pretty much. So open UV editor. I'm gonna put it in this bottom left quadrant. Click out of it. Modifiers, poly select, and the front and back. Or I think think these are maybe the tabs. Yeah. Okay, so we just go ahead and make sure we do the parts where we didn't originally select for the sides. Make sure all inside and outside polys are selected. I have a feeling that these weren't selected when we did the top. Okay, and then the back. Let's see, yeah. So we go that. Make sure you don't select anything but like the areas that you're trying to do. That will really screw you up if you do. Just kind of go over the areas a couple times. Make sure all the polys are selected. Alright, so that seems to be like a area. It's fine. Okay. We'll see. We'll just kind of have to cross our fingers. But going UVW map, real world, on the y-axis, unwrap. Down to this quadrant, and then we're going to go over to the back bumper. We're going to go ahead and select everything in the back bumper. Okay, so drag it out and make sure there's no string attached. Click out of it. Alright, so we're going to hit modifier select, poly select, hit the element, just drag and select everything, or control A. Modifiers, this time we're just going to skip to unwrap UVW because we've already mapped out all the parts. Now we can just go ahead and arrange our map. Alright, as you can see, we have our sides, our top, and our front to back. What we need to do here, all the stray little pieces, we got to make sure that these are inside this checkered box. And go hit R for scale. We're just pretty much going to shrink it down to where it's like not visible. Chances are these are like tiny polygons that you may have missed. Or not you, me. The only time when it's a biggie is when there's a polygon. If there's a polygon outside of the checkered area, then that will completely ruin your map. What's this thing? Oh, just a dust on my monitor. Oh. Alright, so I'm just gonna cross my fingers, hope to die. Let's hope there's no polygons out to die. Ha ha ha. Aha. Alright, so now we're gonna put our top piece, kind of line it up with the sides. Maybe kind of like right here-ish. Give it a little bit of space. We're gonna select this side, hit hold shift and drag, and that way it stays on the same axis. We're gonna line it up so it's like somewhat the same distance on this side as well. Go to our front bumper, bring it to the front of the car, and zoom in and try to just center it to the car. Oh, now this part here, well not this part, this is the back bumper we're just gonna put up here. This step that I'm doing right now is just literally creating the map, so I haven't really found a need to have to put it a certain way. Like you can make it however you want it to. Go ahead and position it over there and hit R and then drag to scale. Position it over the checkered area, scale a little bit more. Pretty much everything inside the checkered box is your map. We're going to hit E for rotate, and then we're going to go down here, -90. That will rotate it to the clockwise, I think. And we're going to hit R or hit up here for scale. A little bit. There. Okay, and then we're going to drag it just so it goes. I might even just make it a tiny bit smaller. There you go. Okay, and so you can have it vertically, you can have it horizontal, you can have bumpers here, whatever you want to do. I find this to be pretty easy to work with. So, but once you do that, just click out of it and close, and let's go and export. Export, not export selected. Go to the car that you saved to, overwrite FBX. Make sure it's in 1, Y up, binary, and then FBX 2014-15. Open your case editor, import the FBX. So now that we have it imported, we don't really need to do much here. As long as everything looks good, all the windows are good. Sometimes you'll see through the car and you'll have to change that. You go in and like right click on the window, go to object, is transparent, hit true or false, and hit T or F to change that. This interior is nice though. Look at this. You got all the different moldings. Well, cool. We're gonna also make sure down here materials, make sure that there's nothing red. Texture review, make sure there's no unused. It's a very well mod. Really well done mod, jeez. Okay, file, SafeCAN 5. Go ahead and set up mods, go to the car. It was TFS something. TFS, there we go. SafeCAN 5. Okay, save. We're gonna go to the car, CM showroom, car. Let's go and click on it. Click on the body, skin body DDS. We're gonna go ahead and calculate a 4096 map. Typically, the higher the resolution, the more details will come out in terms of like shadows and edges and curves. All right, so there's our map. Looks nice and clean. You see where like the wing covers. That way, it kind of gives it that shadow. But yeah, it looks really good. These are little parts that we dragged and tried to make it invisible, but save to the car file. Okay, save there. And what you could do is you could hit replace and save to the new one, but I think this one has a some sort of special like CSP or whatever config for the paint. So I'll just leave it in this template folder and open it up and just do like a red stripe somewhere. Wap, wap. Sick racing stripes, bro. Yeah. Right. Very nice, very nice. Go ahead and just make a duplicate of the white one. Oh yeah, dude. But there we go. Everything is mapped properly. Screen. And yeah, it's all one piece. Yep. All good.